Hey, what's up, traders? This is Matt with Conservative Trades. And for those of you who were in the live stream today, you're probably going to be pretty disappointed to see me reporting a red day. I think last time you guys left off, I was up, I don't know, maybe 120, 130 bucks. And as you can see, I am ending the day down $142.44. Roku slapped me in the face pretty hard at that. And I'll go ahead and just kind of show you what happened here. As a matter of fact, let me pull out my executions here so you can see where I actually took position. So kind of ignore this. This is early morning trades. But here's what happened. So Roku had come down and almost formed, what seemed to be like a double bottom in it, and it was weak. The SPY was weak. It just seemed like it was just making a minor pullback. So I went ahead and got in with 50 shares right here at 119.09, and I was going to really just kind of scalp it for, a retest, even just in case it didn't break. I probably would have taken off maybe 25 shares right here at 118.50-ish. And then, obviously if it didn't break, I would have gotten out the rest of them break even, so it was really, again, it's just, and this is where I seem to continue to get myself into trouble. All I was really wanting to do was just kind of pad the wallet a little bit, pay for a few more commissions, maybe make, 30, 40 bucks off of that. That definitely would have cleared most of my commissions for the day. But as you can see, what ended up happening is it started suffering a pretty harsh pullback. And, the thing is when it got up to these levels and was kind of teetering around, I thought to myself, well, you know what? We've broken the 9 EMA before. We did it back here, as a matter of fact. And, and then, it came back and the SPY was still weak. Just all day long, the SPY seemed to be pretty weak and choppy. And so it wasn't really doing too much today. SPY traveled sometime midday had traveled up to VWAP, but got a VWAP rejection. So the SPY's just been weak today, guys. And, so I just figured, what, I'll take another 50 shares here. I'll go ahead and average in. And then really what I should have done is when I saw that it started to break out through this 20 EMA, I should have gotten out. I mean, plain and simple, I should have gotten out. But by this point, I was thinking to myself, I thought, well, no, you know what? I'm not going to take a loss on this. I'm trying to pad the wallet. And Roku has had a pretty significant sell-off here on the daily. It broke right back through the 200-day moving average. And again, SPY is still weak. So you know what? I'm going to average in. I'll average in again, and I'll average in again. Now, what I should have done is I shouldn't have averaged in here. I should have waited for it to get up here. But I didn't know if it was going to quite make it all the way up to VWAP. But I thought this was just going to get enough of a pullback to where I could get out, at least break even. And I had brought my average up. By the time I got into here, I had brought my average up to 120.19, okay? And so if I had waited for it to get up here, I probably actually would have had my average a little higher than that. And, I would have maybe been able to get back on this pullback here or get out on this pullback here for maybe just like a $30, $40 loss or something like that. But anyway, it came all the way up to VWAP and then came down, and then I saw it kind of forming support right here above the 9 EMA, started coming up. And guys, I didn't know if we were going to get a VWAP breakout today. This was kind of around the time where SPY was starting to make its way towards VWAP, and I didn't know if SPY was going to do a VWAP breakout. I figured Roku's going to follow suit. It would have put me down hundreds of dollars, and I just said, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and just take this $250 loss here. So it was actually a little bit more than that because I was actually up a little bit on Roku, but by the time this happened, it put me down $250 on Roku, as you can see right here, and put me down total of I don't know, it was like 120 on the day or something. So I went from being basically up 120 on the day to down 120 on the day. And I wanted to take a couple stabs at some other stocks. I actually took a stab here on AMD closer to the end of the bell here. It was just a really quick, you can see right here, it was a really quick scalping trade, and I'm glad I scalped it there and got out, because you can see obviously what happened here. I would not have wanted to suffer that pullback. So and then you can see here SHOP, this was kind of a trade that I took early this morning, right out the gates, and I just kind of wish I had held the position a little longer because it made a really nice move. But as you can see, it's very whippy, very choppy. So I just didn't do too well on it. Basically came out 10 bucks on it. Was only trading really maybe 10 shares at a time, 5 shares at a time. But if we come over here to, let's see, SNDX, I wanted to take a few stabs on this. And so I took a few stabs on this and just didn't work out that great. As you can see right here in later market hours, post-market hours, I should say, it's actually breaking out past $20. And here's the good thing about SNDX. If you are long on this, it's it has no previous area of resistance. It's a newer released No, actually, it's not. I'm confusing this with what was the other stock today that we were looking at that was a newer release? No, it wasn't Cura. Anyway, here I'll find that in a minute. But just to keep my thoughts continuous here, this is breaking out. There is no previous area of resistance. So who knows how high this could go today. Only God knows, right? But this could definitely break out past 2074. It'd be, pretty good for a long right here. And trust me, I'm tempted to get in, just to try to make back some of the profits on the day. I've seen moves like this many, many times, and I have very little doubt that this is not going to break these highs here. But what may end up happening is it may actually end up double topping here and getting slammed back down. I've seen that a lot too. So I really don't want to mess with it right now, guys. But you can see I made an attempt on it, lost 15 bucks on that. So, and CURA, kind of did a little trading on that, but ultimately lost $22 on that. And guys, it wasn't a good day for me. mRNA was another one that I tried trading. I had actually drawn this huge trend line here, okay? And let's see, I obviously first got in here, and I wish I had held that because that would have been a really good move. But, again, it's like I was saying yesterday, guys, I'm trading with wobbly legs here. And it's just what it is for now. But anyway, you can see it move back, and then it came down. And, as soon as it broke this trend line and closed below this trend line, I saw this as a really nice bearish signal. So I went ahead and got short here, and then I averaged in, got short here, got out here, got out here, got out the rest here. And, guys, this just, again, same old story, just chop fest on a lot of these different stocks. They're not resolving they're not resolving the way that I would like for them to, or that I'm used to seeing them resolve. And chart patterns are just, we've been in this place for a long time. We've talked about it many times. The chart patterns just are not, they're just not playing out the way that they typically would. And not saying that they don't ever play out like this. I mean, obviously, anybody who's ever day traded can tell you, you'll get faked out on stocks from time to time. It just happens. But when you spend a lot of time in the markets and you have watched these chart patterns play out over and over and over again, and you have picked a pretty formidable strategy that typically works out, at least, 6-7 times out of 10. Well, what I've kind of been noticing here lately in the last 4 to 6 weeks is a lot of these chart patterns, more like 6 out of 10 times it doesn't work out. 6-7 out of 10 times it fakes you out. It at least for me with my particular strategy, so it's been difficult nonetheless. But the good trade for the day was Boeing, and this was a really nice move on Boeing, and caught this move. And somebody had called out bad news. They said there was some really bad news, something about criminal charges or something. I really don't know the deal with it. I never actually looked up the headline for myself, so don't quote me on any of that. But it was making a really solid move all the way down. And as you can see, I scalped it. I scalp traded it and did pretty well on this pullback here. But anyway, guys, still ending the day in the red, and probably down over $200 after fees and commissions. And so, it seems like you take. Well, here lately, it seems like I've taken, a couple steps forward, couple steps back, couple steps forward, couple steps back. I just cannot seem to break out of this this cycle that I've been in for a while. So I don't know what I'm going to do, guys, at this point. I mean, obviously, I've continuously thought about maybe just going back in simulation for a while. Thought about sitting on the sidelines for a while. I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'm going to make up my mind pretty soon on that. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Look, I don't ever tout that I'm some kind of super professional, big money making day trading guru, because I'm not. I will say this: I've really been getting squeezed by the market. My strategy has been just completely destroyed by this market over and over and over again. I've gone from making, having fairly consistent 4, 5, 6, even $700 wins to barely breaking $200. And so I just, for those of you who are new to the channel, all that to say, forgive me for, just not being able to really teach a formidable strategy here. I've got a good strategy. I know that I do, but in these market conditions, it has not been good. It has not been good at all, and I'm fine to admit that, and I want to be transparent. I want to be completely honest. It does not do me or you or anybody any good for me to come in here and just try to make excuses for this, or just try to blame shift, or whatever. I mean, bottom line, the strategy that I had working, the strategy that was working so well for me when we were in normal market conditions, just isn't working anymore. So and I've heard of other traders going through phases like this, and I've heard of even the most professional traders, even people who come from some of the bigger financial institutions, people who have a lot of years behind their belt in trading. I've heard of these guys going through slumps like this and just having to go back into simulation for a while. And so I'm not above doing that, and I'm really considering it. I'm heavily considering it at this time, but I don't know, guys. We'll see. We'll see in the weeks to come. But nonetheless, I hope you guys did a lot better than me today. Hope you guys are doing well. And again, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and come check out the live stream. We've got a pretty good live stream going here Monday through Friday, beginning roughly around 9 a.m. Again, it's right here on the channel. It's free. And then to those of you who are already in the live stream, again, I can't thank you guys enough. I appreciate you guys. I think we have a pretty good group of guys and girls. We, whoever is attending on a daily basis. I know that not everybody jumps in and gets in on the comments and stuff like that, but nonetheless, it's always a joy to have you guys in the room, and hopefully we'll have a much better day tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be able to end the week in the green. So anyway, guys, take care. Have a good afternoon. I'll see you tomorrow.